When outlining, a lot of people use a tube of outliner like this, a source called Cern Relief. You can also use a small bottle of outliner like this. You'll notice this one has a nice fine nozzle on it. Personally, I prefer to use a piping bag, so I use a large bottle of outliner like this, which I can decant into the piping bag. Making a piping bag is quite easy. You take a square of greaseproof or parchment paper and cut it in half. Then, taking one of the triangles, you point it towards you. Take the corner of the triangle and wrap it round, ensuring you get a very nice point at the end. Then take the other corner of the triangle and wrap that round at the back. Again, you make sure you've got a nice point on the end, then take these two tabs, fold them over once, creasing it down, and then a second time, which will also crease down. Once this is done, we have a nice piping bag ready for you to use. If you're unsure about your piping bag, you can always place a little bit of sellotape just here, and then you can be sure it will stay together. Okay, now for the fun bit. We're going to fill this bag with the outliner from this bottle, and hopefully it won't go all over the place. So, as far down into the bag as you can. You'll learn how much to put in. Don't worry if you overfill it, you can always put it back in the bottle later. Now it's important which way you fold this. The part with the join you put downwards. Fold in the sides and then roll down. By doing it that way, we are tightening that join up all the time. If we rolled the other way, it would open that join out. So roll it down until you've taken up all the excess space. You may, if this end's not totally closed, get a little bit of outliner coming out now. Don't worry about that. If it is, just use it straight as it is. But as this is totally closed, we're going to snip off the end. Obviously, the higher up we snip it, the thicker the line's going to be. The lower down, the thinner the line. You can always take a bit more off, but you can't add a bit more back on. So start small and get larger if you need. So we shall snip it off. About there. Test on our test rag. And you can see the outline is coming out. So now we're ready to outline. Make sure the bag's rolled well down, thumb giving some pressure, and we touch, lift and pull. Not too fast, otherwise the line will break. Again, touch, lift, pull it along. Always work in this direction. Never try pushing the bag. Okay, when you're happy with that, we can bring in a practice sheet. You'll find this design on the site. It's just a few different shapes. You'll notice it's actually printed in green rather than black. It's much easier if you're using a dark outliner to line over a different colour. So again, it's touch, lift, pull, and to do the other part of that, I'm going to turn the design round. That's why I don't tape it down to the table. Touch, lift, pull. You'll also notice I've started in the middle. If you start in the middle on any design you're doing, then it saves you having to reach over anything you've already done, and you don't get that black mark all the way down your hand. Okay, next one. Touch, lift, pull, down, up, touch, lift, pull, down, touch, lift, pull, down, touch, lift, pull. I'll do another one. Touch, lift, pull, down, touch, lift, pull, touch, lift, pull, touch, lift, pull. And there we go. I can see my bag is getting a bit loose, so I'll tighten it up a little bit more by just rolling it a bit further down, and we'll do a circle. So it's round, about halfway, stop. Again, turn my work round, and we'll pick up there, into the wet. And stop just before you're pushing it again. Okay, maybe now a few straight lines. Don't worry, we will clean this piece of acetate off and use it again. You're going to make some mistakes, the line's going to break. Even if you make some mistakes in your actual work, don't worry. You can cut them out when it's dry. Go back and touch it up again. In the end, the answer is practice. And there we go. Obviously you can carry on and complete the sheet if you want, but once you've felt you've practiced enough, then you can move on to outlining a real item.